Well, good morning, everybody. Um, for those who don't know me, I am Tanya. I am the Next Steps Director, but I am also this year's Walk for Freedom host, and I'll tell you more about that. And I get the privilege to talk about A21, which is the ministry mission that our sisterhood has adopted, and I'm so blessed that I get to be the spokesperson, for lack of a better word, because human trafficking is very near and dear to my heart. So I know a lot of people, I've been talking about human trafficking for years, and you've asked me, what is your connection to human trafficking? And I'm always like, oh, I don't have one. And I want to apologize in advance and say that was a lie. I am going to share with you guys my story. It's not my story, so don't look at me and be like, oh, no, it's not that. But it is. I just wanted to make that clear. I wanted you to hear me. But I have a friend who I grew up with. She's like a sister to me. And right when I started to find out about human trafficking, her daughter was actually trafficked. She was 14 years old, and we did not know that she was trafficked because we did not know what trafficking was. So my friend, and we'll call her daughter Z, we'll call the mom A. So mom A calls me and tells me that Z has met this wonderful new boyfriend. Z is 14, Z's boyfriend is 28. Now, Z has grown up in a household where her mom and her siblings have all been physically, sexually, and mentally abused by her father, and he is currently serving prison time. So Z and her family, they're already extremely vulnerable, which is, that's just like a trafficker's wheelhouse there. So she meets this boyfriend, and he is the most amazing. He buys her everything she wants. He takes her places. Mind you, she's 14. She's still a child. But her mom and all of what she's trying to do and work through her healing, it's just like one of my children is being taken care of. She's suffering from some mental issues herself, and so she just kind of took her hands off of that. She met the guy. She thought the guy was awesome. She thought her daughter was safe. So fast forward about 6 months, and Z leaves the house. She moves in with the boyfriend. Mom's still thinking, well, the boyfriend comes over every Sunday night. He's a great guy. It's going to be okay. So they decide they're going to move. So they move to, they move to another state. Now, Miss Z is calling her mom every Sunday, so her mom's not worried. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm one of those friends that's like, girl, you let your 14-year-old daughter move, because I don't know. So I'm going by what she's telling me. You let your 14-year-old daughter move to another state with a 28-year-old man. No, she's fine. She calls me every Sunday. Okay, 6 months after that, Miss Z stops calling. And so now we're 2 years into trying to find this child. And the saddest part of the story, number one, that Z got trafficked, but the other part is my friend, she did not tell us what was going on because she had so much guilt that she allowed her child to go off with this man because she didn't know. She had no clue. And I started sharing her what I was learning because, you learn something, you're excited. I'm like, I went to the seminar and I learned this, this, and this. And she's in her head, she's thinking, my child's being trafficked and I don't know how to tell my friend because she's going to judge me. And so she says something to me and I'm like, hold on, that sounds like trafficking. I'm like, talk to me. Tell me what's going on. So we start talking, which was amazing because then she's like, my child is being trafficked and I need my child back. So there is a happy ending to this story. Ms. Z is back at home. She is thriving. She's got 2 small kids with another baby on the way, not with the boyfriend. Because of the boyfriend was caught, or the pimp was caught, let's call him what he is. He was caught, and because of COVID, they have not been able to prosecute him, but the beginning of 2023 is when his trial will be, and she is ready to speak and to speak out against this man. So she does have a happy ending. But that is my story with trafficking. That's why it is so important to me. It hit home in a way that took my breath away because this little girl is like you know how I'm about my kids. She's one of my kids, and I was ready to fight. First fight her mama because she didn't tell me, and then fight this man. But that's okay because, justice will get him. And so, but this is why this is important to me. I say every year, I don't want anyone that I know and that I love to ever be used by someone. If you don't know what human trafficking is, it is the exploitation of vulnerable people, like my friends, that they use their bodies for sex, for labor, for just service with little to no pay. And so there are over 40 million people that are currently enslaved right now. 71% of them are women. 25% are children, and the numbers keep growing. And while they are growing in sex trafficking, they are skyrocketing in labor trafficking. And that's partly because they're able to identify more of what labor trafficking is, because they've been able to get away with a little bit, because if they're getting paid, even if they're getting paid under the table, it's not necessarily labor trafficking. Or if they're not getting paid the wage that they are entitled to, and they're giving that money to the person who is quote unquote caring for them, that is still labor trafficking. You can't make it pretty. So we are, again, we're very, very blessed to be able to work with A21. Their mission is to end slavery everywhere, forever. A21 is abolish slavery in the 21st century, but like I said, their mission is to end slavery everywhere, forever. And it was started by Christine Caine. I'm sure you guys know who Christine Caine is. If not, Google her. She's amazing. Lila knows her. But it started in 2008, and they have just been, in the fight. And part of what makes them so impactful is that they mobilize the communities to go out and to see something, to say something, to fight against trafficking, to bring awareness to the community, and that's what makes them so impactful. So, and they do that through their REACH program, which is helping educate people, bringing awareness to the community. The rescue, which is they have hotlines that you can call to report things that are happening. And then the restoration, which is one of my favorite parts, because there's got to be aftercare. One of the things that we're learning with my friend Miss C is that she needs a lot of care. And so A21 is focused on the aftercare, what happens once they're back in their regular lives. So you're asking yourself, well, how can I help? You should be asking yourself that. Well, I'm going to tell you. First thing you can do is pray. I mean, if you don't want to do anything else, you're like, Tanya, this problem's too big. I don't want to look at it. I can't see it. That's fine. You can pray. Just pray for the victims. Pray for the people who are in the fight that are going to get those victims out of the situations they're in. Pray that justice is done to the buyers and the suppliers, because if there's no supply, there's no buyers. So, and then pray also, this is hard because this is what I'm struggling with, but pray for a heart change for those buyers and those suppliers, because it's going to take that in order for this to stop. So that's number one you can do. Next thing you do is educate yourself. Just learn one thing. Strike that. Just learn 2 or 3 things about the signs of human trafficking. Just learn something, okay? We're going to help you out, though, because on the back of your card, it tells you what labor and sex trafficking is. You just learned something. If you go to a21.org, learn the signs so that you can just be aware. So that's, it's 2. Even if it's just for yourself and the people that you love. All right? So then another way you can help, if you see something, say something. We say this all the time. There is a phone number that's about to come up that I'm going to ask you to put in your phone or write it down. But it is the National Human Trafficking Hotline, and it's 888-373-7888. That's going to be up there for a minute so you can write it down. Have that in your phone. Even if you see something, you're like, I'm not quite sure. If you did, you need to call, because something in your spirit is like, girl, that does not sit right with me. It hurts nothing if you call. And if you're wrong, that's awesome, because, nothing shady was going on. But if you're right, then you could have saved someone's life. So put that number in your phone. Put it under human trafficking hotline. That's how I have it. Put it under whatever you need, but make sure you have that number in your phone. And then another way you can do is you can support the mission of A21 financially. We all year long, we take A21 donations. All the money that we collect goes to them. If you brought your donation, because we talked about it last night, and we talk about it at every every conference that we have, I issue a challenge every year to the ladies that attend, and that challenge is just collect your loose change for a year. And then at conference, bring it, and then we will submit it as a donation. Let's say you didn't take the challenge. I issue the challenge. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't ever take it until like a month before conference is gonna happen. So I always set up like to get money taken out of my account for the rest of the year. I'm just that way. But whatever, pray about it. Ask God, what should you give? All the money that we collect does go to A21 for donations. And then the next thing, and this is my favorite part, is mobilize your community. And what does that mean? Well, part of that means is that we're going to do the Walk for Freedom. So we did that last year for the first time. It was amazing. We had about 400 people come out. A lot of you guys were there. For our first time, that was pretty awesome. It was so awesome that this year, I just got off a call with Alex Hill, who is the senior strategic planner for A21. And he said, hey, Tanya, can I come to your walk this year? I'm like, yeah, Alex, you can. So he will be here. He's like, I'm coming in Friday. We're going to go to dinner, gather your friends. So it's awesome. But he's like, where is Leesburg? And I'm like, well, we're going to show you. So there you go. And I will tell you, last year we got calls like, where is Leesburg? Well, come see, because we're here. So I want you to watch this video of some highlights of last year so you just can kind of see what you're in for if you decide to walk this year. So we're at the Venetian Center in Leesburg, Florida. We are doing the A21 Walk for Freedom. It's a walk that A21 does every year to bring awareness to the community about human trafficking. This is our first year doing it.
So today we are actually able to do the silent walk, single file silent walk, just to bring awareness to help stop human trafficking.
In law enforcement, I worked in the human trafficking space, but even after retiring, the passion of ending human trafficking is a deep passion of mine, a deep concern of mine. And the reason being is because our kids are being exploited.
I was about 11 years old when it began. As a child, I was trafficked for a couple of years in and out of a brothel home, and then I was trafficked 6 years as an adult as well.
So many people still don't know what's happening here in our own backyard. It's happening here daily. Kids are getting recruited on social apps, popular apps that we're all aware of and maybe even have on our phone.
Tanya was so passionate when she first heard about this A21, which stands for Abolish Human Trafficking in the 21st Century. When she first heard about it, she just latched onto it and became very passionate.
I'm a Christian, so one of the things God has asked us to do is to love his people. I have a heart for people. I don't have a personal connection to human trafficking, but just the fact of someone being forced to do something against their will, it just breaks my heart.
And I'm so glad to see the huge numbers here in the community today, because the more awareness we bring, the more we're going to be really equipped to protect our families.
It's important for me to be here to come alongside A21 to raise the awareness, to continue to try to put an end to this horrific crime.
We have to end human trafficking because it's impacting our most precious treasure, which is our children.
So we are doing that again this year. And if you are interested, on your card that I told you about, there is a QR code that you can scan and get registered. And it's a free walk. So, it's free. And it's on Saturday, October 15th. We're going to start at 8. We will actually start the walk at 9. It's a silent walk, but we would love for you to come and join us. It's going to be at the Venetian Center. But again, scan this barcode here to get registered. On the back of that card is a story of someone who is a survivor. And then the so in order to get ready for the walk, I'm actually going to have a swag bag here from A21, which I actually want this bag myself. But inside it has a t-shirt, which the winner can switch out if that's not the right size. It has a mug that was made by Dorothy Rager over there. And then it has like this bag. Yeah, that's the lid. So awesome. And then it has a wristband. Yeah, so then you'll be all set for the walk. So you should register if you win. It's a requirement. If not, you got to give it back. Just letting you know. Whoa, I thought that was going to fall. Okay, so the number is 843-9132. Yay! Awesome. Exciting. Please register. We're going to have to switch that shirt out, though. All right, so then the last thing I just want to tell you is that, get registered for the walk. If you want to get super involved, there will be people at the walk that you could talk to that maybe you can get involved with their organization. And then the donation. So we're going to have this beautiful bucket here to collect your A21 donations that you can do that at lunch. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, or and if you don't feel comfortable asking right now or you want to do it on Sunday, any of our ladies that have on the Abolish Slavery with Every Step t-shirt or are standing by our sign-up table, you can ask them. I love questions, so please ask. And I just thank you guys so much for allowing me to have this time.